This video I'm gonna speak about blacks and the Chinese. I'm just gonna share my opinion. I feel that they're very much interconnected, very much related. Um, to me, I don't see really much of a differentiation. Um, I feel that they're on the same side, the same team. Like in a way representing the East, and then the Caucasians, the whites are representing like the West. So with the yin yang, there's black and white, right? It's not black, yellow, purple, orange, and white. No, it's black and white. There's only two. So the Caucasian, the whites are representing, the white, and the black is represented like by the blacks, the Chinese, and everybody in the East. Um, I think that in America, it's all about white and black. The black struggle, and that's the same thing as like the Chinese struggle. You know, um, you know, I think the majority of the population in America, I feel, is gonna be, the Caucasians and the blacks, and maybe nowadays there's a lot more Hispanics because Mexico's so close to the U.S. borders. But I don't really see that big of a population of the Asians in America. But I see that every time the blacks accomplish something, like having a black president, the first black boxer, or all the blacks getting into the NBA when it used to be all white, but now it's like a lot of blacks, or just a lot of blacks in professional sports, a lot of blacks in the entertainment industry. And I know, right now there's the whole thing about the blacks wanting equal opportunity in the Oscars. The fact of the matter is, they've accomplished so much, and I see that those accomplishments are something that's also an accomplishment for the Chinese. Because I feel that the blacks in America are pretty much representing all the Chinese as well. You know, that's just my opinion. I feel that I relate to the blacks so much because I feel that we are one. The Chinese people and the blacks to me are one. You know, the same struggles that the blacks go through against the whites, fighting against corruption and corrupted authority and the power struggle is the same corruption that the Chinese go through when they fight against the Japanese. As far as what I've learned from history, the Japanese are kind of representing more of the power, and then the Chinese were representing more of the struggle. It may be, it may not be the situation now because China is known to be an economic powerhouse at the moment. But as far as what I've learned from in the past, and I just see a lot of relations, and I just recently made a video saying that, I feel that hip hop is the evolution of the martial arts. I just made that video off at the top of my mind, and then somebody actually sent me a link to an interview with Donnie Yen, specifying that a lot of the hip hop movements and a lot of their expression has been pretty much copied off of the Chinese Kung Fu. And it's just interesting to me, for him to even say that. I feel that there is a lot of influence, in the black culture from the Chinese. And I think a lot of ideas from all over the world have been taken from China. America is known to go over to China to take ideas and then bring it back to America to profit. And it's just a lot of the people all over the world learn from China. Japan, a big part of their culture is from China. A big part of the culture of the um, Korea and Thailand is coming from China. And I know that even Africa, get learns from China as well. But I feel that it's all one. You know, everything there in the East, as far as the Africans, the Chinese, and Japanese and Thai, like it's all just one. Is one people. So every time like the blacks succeed, essentially that's representing like the Chinese succeeding. You know, so um, I just feel that connection with that because you know, forever I will be Chinese. I'm not you know there's something that I can't change, and forever I will be a minority. Forever I will be a part of the struggle, and everybody that's a part of that struggle with me, I identify with, I relate to, and I have a connection with. But that's how I feel. I think that a person that's white just they just cannot understand that struggle because they're not a part of the struggle. They just cannot understand it. There's such a thing as white privilege, and that's all over America, and that's the thing that they're talking about as far as the Oscars are concerned. And even if a white person goes over to China, there still is white privilege because in China, whites are looked at in a certain way of authority, of greater power. But I'm sharing my personal thoughts and identifying with the blacks, but it doesn't mean that all Chinese people will share these thoughts because there are a lot of racist traditional Chinese people out there that will frown upon blacks and see themselves to be above. But I'm not one of them. I see that the blacks and the Chinese are one. That's what I see. And I see the identification. So when I look up to somebody like a Tupac or Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X or Michael Jordan or whatever the case may be, to me that's like looking up to like a Chinese person. It's just basically like looking up to another minority, or looking up to a fellow minority, not another minority, but a fellow minority that has succeeded, and someone of whom you could gain great inspiration from. Um, but you even see Bruce Lee. He was really good friends with you know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he worked well with Jim Kelly. Bruce Lee, had friends with all different races. He didn't see, you know, judge people based on race or things like that. He just kind of connected with a lot of different people. You know, um, but somebody also sent me a message about his appreciation and respect for the Chinese culture and its people. And I just want to mention to myself that for myself that I have high respect for the black culture and its people. And as I stated, those are the only people I can really identify with because they're all over at the entertainment industry here in America. There's not even any influential Chinese people that in Hollywood that I can even draw inspiration by. You know, you know, everybody's that's been successful within Hollywood, other than the whites, are the blacks. So I feel that all races, all minorities, no matter if it's Hispanic or Chinese or black or whatever, could draw inspiration from the black leaders out there and the black individuals out there that have accomplished so much. And it is a great inspiration. And it's like I think we're just all working together to gain equal opportunities. They may not be they may there'll probably never ever be a Chinese president of the United States, but at least there is a black one, and that never happened before, and the Chinese people in America should be thankful for that a minority has been able to get up the ranks and gain that respect to obtain that type of position. But I feel that it's important for all minorities to come together to support one another, um, and and always support one another to fight towards equal opportunity. You know, it's not that that it's not that it's like for or against, but it's more like just recognizing that things in this world are not that could they could be better. And there are white people out there that do fight for the struggle as well, such as like someone like Michael Moore, and maybe even Eminem. Like there's certain white individuals out there that will identify with the minority struggle and put their efforts into fighting towards greater equality amongst all races. you know but yeah, that's all I gotta say.